Hello viewers, welcome back to another video. This video is about preparations before conducting the inclining experiment, steps to know and implement. So let's get started. Inclining test purpose is to check the stability of the ship, and we are able to determine the metacentric height GM and vertical center of gravity VCG through this experiment, and also we are able to find out light ship weight through the draft markings. And also this experiment tells that how accurately ship weights are distributed by the designer and how much the ship parameters like draft, list, and trim in the ship in the real case are close to the designed ship. So before moving forward about the preparations of conducting inclining experiment, I'm gonna tell you about the general description. So here are the original location of the four weights present on the ship. These are the inclining weights. So when the experiment starts, we shift weight from starboard side towards the port side one by one, and then these weights are moved back, and these are the four shifts. And same is the case with the port side. Both the weights are shifted towards from port side to starboard side, and these are came back to their original location, and through during these shiftings we calculate the heel angle theta. So this is the about the pendulum box. This is the pendulum box, and that is the pendulum, and that string is the string, and that is the batten. That the wooden strip is the batten, and over this wooden strip the scale, the metal scale is attached, over which the deflection values are calculated in a linear way, and then we convert these linear values into the heel angles. Now move forward and now talk about the preparations for conducting inclining experiment. So at the time of launching the ship, only 60% of the ship is constructed, and this 60% includes its hull, its superstructure, and it also includes its engines, DGs, anchors, and other large equipments. And so 60% only ship is constructed, and the requirement for conducting inclining experiment is 80 to 90%. So in the harbor, ship is constructed 30% to 40%, and whenever ship reaches to its 80 to 90%, then it is applicable for conducting the inclining experiment. So hence we can say that 80 to 90% of the ship construction is required. So why it is so? After ship launching, ship is only 60% constructed, as I have told you before. So there is need to install the air conditioning system, the missiles, the guns, pipes, pumps, electrical wiring equipment. So these things are to be installed in the ship. So there is a requirement of the inclining experiment that ship must be 80 to 90% complete. We cannot conduct experiment for the 60% of the ship, because there is a lot of missing weights in the ship, and we cannot perform it due to the IMO rules. IMO rules are we gonna discuss in the next slide. So talk about the International Maritime Organization Rules. So this organization gives the rules related to the ship stability, including the inclining test of the ship. So these defined rules are copied by the classification society and made them more specific depending on the vessel type, like rules and criteria for small ships and large ships varies slightly. So first of all, general rules are given by the IMO, and then the Lloyd Register, like the classification society for the ships, copy these rules from the IMO and make them general for the small ship as well as large ship. Design vessel is always class approved and forward the procedure to the shipyard based on these rules. So the designer who approved its design from the class like Lloyd Register, and that designer made the report basis on the basis of these classification rules and sent this report to the shipyard. And after this, the shipyard inclining test team performed the experiment according to the test procedure provided by the designer. So now discuss about the rules of inclining test. list before experiment should be between 0 to 0.5 degree. I hope you guys know about the list in the ship. It is actually the permanent bending of ship either towards the port side or starboard side due to the missing weights or due to the permanent fault in the ship. So it should be avoided. And why it is important in the inclining experiment? Because in an inclining experiment there is a requirement that there must be 0 to 0.5 degree heat list. So as a lot of weights are missing in the ship, as I've told you, 80 to 90% of the ship is constructed, then we are applicable and we are able to perform the inclining experiment. Still 20 to 10% things are missing, so due to these missing things the ship can be listed. So this list should be between 0 to 0.5 degree. If it is exceeds this value, then we have to put extra weight on the ship to make this value between this range. And trim is also should be between 1 to 2% of LBP. So if you know LBP of the ship, length between the perpendiculars, so the trim should be between 1 to 2% of this length. And missing weight, as I have told you that there is a missing weight in the ship at the time of inclining experiment, and that missing weight should be 1 to 2% of the lightship weight. Additional weight should not be more than 4% of the lightship weight. What is additional weight? Additional weight includes the inclining experiment weights, pendulum weights, the pendulum box weights, and other extra machinery which is not a part of the ship is included in the additional weight. And ship must heel between 1 to 4 degrees during the incline test. So for conducting inclining experiment, arrange a feasible pendulum box, scale and stand. So that is the pendulum box, that is scale as I've shown this below, and that is the batten, the wooden shaped batten, and that is the pendulum stand. So this type of the pendulum stand usually prefer in the inclining experiment, and nowadays another technology like inclino sensors are being used by the shipyards. Inclining weights. So inclining weights are to be prepared before conducting the inclining experiment, and according to the um, criteria given by the designer. So their weights. So it is the responsibility of the shipyard team to check the location of these weights in the general arrangement, and also check this location physically by going and visiting into the ship. And also in the similar manner, the location of the pendulum, location of the pendulum should also be given. It's also given by the designer, and team should check it on the ship physically. If it is okay, then it is okay, and if it is there is need to change the location of the weights due to some reasons, then this position can be changed. And also check the feasibility and location and movement of the weights. If it is fine enough to conduct the test without any issue. Check the feasibility of the plumb line. This is the plumb line. The whole system is plumb line. The string plus pendulum. It is known as plumb line. So its length should be about 3 meters or 2 meters. So check its feasibility also. Team responsibility. The team from shipyard conducting the inclining experiment is responsible to check tanks, bilges on the weekly basis. Bilges, this is the bilge, must be zero, and tanks should be empty to avoid FSM, free surface movement, because FSM affects the healing angle values and affects the stability of the ship. So this is the bilge. I have made a separate video on it, and also there is a need to arrange the dock to conduct experiment. And also the responsibility of shipyard team to check the draft markings on weekly or daily basis 1 month before the test. So these are the draft marks present on the forward, on the mid, and on the aft side of the ship, on the both sides, port side as well as starboard side. So these markings are calculated by the team, and so from these markings the average draft of the ship is calculated. And so ship must so the team must start doing the survey 2 months before the ship reaches to its 80 to 90% of its completion. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to this channel for stunning videos. Hope you like my video. share this video. Thanks a lot and thanks for watching.